Well, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make coleslaw. I've been making this recipe for well over 20 years. It's one of my favorites. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm going to try to get my camera set up just right so you can see the whole process. So, we're going to make coleslaw this morning. This recipe of coleslaw is actually better if you make it the day before. It gives it time to marinate in itself. And I'll put the dry ingredients together first because it makes less of a mess. Half a cup of sugar, C&H sugar. And let's see here, we need a half a teaspoon of salt. And an eighth of a teaspoon. I do not have an eighth of a teaspoon, so I'm using a quarter, and I'm just going to put half in it. Gotta have pepper. Alright, that's all the dry ingredients. Stir that all up. Alright, so we're going to start adding the wet ingredients. We're going to need a quarter cup of plain old everyday milk. You can use any kind of milk you want. Goat's milk, cow's milk, horse milk, doesn't matter. Alright, and then you'll need a quarter cup of buttermilk, and as you've noticed probably, a lot of my recipes have buttermilk in them. I don't drink it, but I sure do like cooking with it. Alright. That's the milk. Next ingredient, and we are a 2 mayonnaise house. I am all the way Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Randy is all the way Miracle Whip, so we always have 2 kinds. You're going to need a half a cup of mayonnaise. And quite honestly, I don't know what this would taste like if I put Miracle Whip in it. Probably not the same. That was probably my dryer went off there. Sorry about that. And in the process, I've also cooked my breakfast. So my breakfast is on the stove, waiting. I could eyeball this, but I'd rather not. So, now we need, alright, I use whatever vinegar I have on hand, and today it is apple cider vinegar with the mother. This will take 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar or white vinegar, it doesn't matter which, just as long as it's a vinegar. And this has the mother in it too, so that ought to be good. And then lemon juice. 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now you're going to mix this all up, and this is a very quick recipe. It can be made in less than 15 minutes. And I like this one because, to me, it tastes a whole lot like KFC coleslaw used to taste. It don't taste like this anymore. So if you like that, this would be the one that you want to try. Now you can do this in a mixer, or not a mixer. You can do this in a blender, but I do not have a blender. So that's why I do it by hand. There's a lot of the extra little appliances that I just don't have. Just never really needed them. Blender'd be nice though. So after you get that all mixed up, and you're like me, throw everything in the sink to wash later. You will take your, now you can do your own coleslaw. You can make it however you want. I just buy it because it's faster and easier, and I don't have to try to shred my fingers in the process. You can put 2 bags of coleslaw to this, and it will break down, and it will be just as good and have twice as much with the same amount of stuff. But I usually just put 1. And I usually like putting this in a bowl that has a lid, because I usually store it upside down in the refrigerator. So when you turn it back over, all the juice runs through it. And I love coleslaw, but sometimes I just cannot eat it anymore. It doesn't agree with me. So if you guys needed to know how to make coleslaw, this is fast and it's easy. Anybody can make this as long as you can read a measuring spoons or measuring cups. And you can make it with any kind of ingredients. I just happen to make it with the same stuff all the time, so. Now, you'll want to let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours before you eat it, because it takes time for the juices to get settled into the cabbage. But there's my coleslaw. And it's usually just as good as, it's okay, like you can eat it right just like this, but it is better the next day. Just like always. And I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you can have this coleslaw on your pulled pork sandwiches. You can have it with fried chicken. It does not matter. It is good anyway. So, there it is.